responsible for the transport of oxygen, you understand, from the liver to other part of the body to form oxyhemoglobin. That's just what we're talking about. Now just put it down here. The red coloration is due to the pigment called hemoglobin, which transports what? Blood and oxygen rather, which transports oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. All right, I believe you guys get this right. I believe it is clear. I'm wiping it off now. I believe you are taking your screenshots. So I can wipe this off. These are key information to be seen in your GPEP exams. Let's now go to the next one. I've done red blood cells. I want to talk about the white blood cells. I want to talk about the white blood cells. I see. We have talked about blood plasma. We have talked about red blood cells. Now we're in the white blood cells. Now these white blood cells. Remember we said the shape of the red blood cells those ones are what? Round by concave. While your white blood cells, they are irregular in shape. They are irregular in shape. That means their shape is not a regular shape. It's just anyhow and changes just like that. Like it's not a specific definite shape. So they are irregular in shape and are larger but less numerous. Are larger but less numerous than red blood cells. Now, your white blood cells, they also call it leukocytes. Whenever you hear the word leukocytes, that is your white blood cells, also called leukocytes. Okay, let's move on. So we said they are irregular and they are larger. That means your white blood cells are larger than your red blood cells. That's meaning your white blood cells are larger than your red blood cells, but they are less numerous, meaning that your red blood cells are higher in number. If you have 1 billion red blood cells, you'll be having like 1 million white blood cells. I get it now. At the end of the day, it's just that those white blood cells, in terms of size for one cell, it's kind of larger than the red blood cells. You get now. And also, they have nucleus, which is round. You remember that your red blood cells, we said they are non-nucleated. We said that your red blood cells are non-nucleated, but your white blood cells are nucleated. They have round, lobe-shaped nucleus. They possess a round what? Lobe shape, nucleus. Adama, you are getting it. It possesses a round lobe shape nucleus. And now, what was the lifespan I said for red blood cells? Who can remind me? I made mention of the lifespan for a red blood cell. You said that the red blood cell have how many lifespan? 3 months. But your white blood cell has a lifespan for 3 weeks. Wow, very short. It has Okay, let's talk about where it is produced first. This one now, around. I didn't mention around though. Okay. Okay, I said they possess. Okay, they possess a round, lobed, L-O-B-E-D, a round lobe-shaped nucleus. Full stop. They possess a round lobe-shaped nucleus. Full stop. And we now said it has. We now said it has a lifespan of 3 weeks. But remember that of red blood cell was 9 and 3 months. I get it now. And the question is, where are white blood cells produced? 3 places. They are produced from 3 places. Your red blood cells are produced from 1 place, Abi. But this one, they are produced from 3 places. They are produced from the bone marrow, from the lymph node, and also from the what? From the spleen. You see it now? They are produced. They are produced from the bone marrow, comma, the lymph, and spleen. These are the places that they are produced. So after 3 weeks, which is their lifespan, are you getting me now? They die off. You get? They die off. Now, what is the major function of your white blood cell? They aid in preventing what? Infection. They aid to prevent infection and disease. Those are the sites. This white blood cell is responsible for your defense. When you hear somebody saying I have strong immunity, it's called your white blood cell. The white blood cell are like the military people. The moment invaders are coming, for example, now somebody gets susceptible to parasites and plasmodium parasite, like Plasmodium falciparum. Understand? The person's white blood cell is the one that will go there and phagocyte. You understand? To swallow it up, that plasmodium. And let me give you guys a good news. Nigerians, we Nigerians, we are already immune to plasmodium. In fact, we don't die from malaria again. People don't die from malaria. You have malaria, they take drugs, they are very okay. Some people say they have malaria and they don't have symptoms. You understand? That's because of this immunity, which is responsible as a result of their strong white blood cell. So when you hear the word that somebody have human immune deficiency syndrome or acquired immune, now other HIV and AIDS, they fight your white blood cells and suppress them. It's just like going into somebody's compound or a military man compound and carrying all the soldiers that doesn't cover and put them inside a cage. You will have ability to do whatever you want. The territory become yours, and that's what happens in the body. Once your white blood cells have been subdued by some parasites, I get it now, you are already what? Pre-exposed, and you become susceptible to having some of these infections or diseases. So the major function of the white blood cells are what? They aid in preventing infections and what? And diseases. They aid in preventing infections and diseases. I get it now. They aid in preventing infection and diseases. I get it now. So it is their amoeboid movement. They have an amoeboid movement, which is a kind of regular draw movement in cyclosis. It's through that movement that they are able to move in and out of the blood capillary in order to engulf invaders. You understand? Now let me tell you what happens. The moment you are healthy, the number of white blood cells that are being in your bloodstream will be low. But once you have an infection, it will be high. So those white blood cells will be in your blood. Then they will not leave the blood capillaries through amoeboid movement in order to go and do what? In order to go and engulf what? When I say engulf, to go and phagocyte. For example, this might be the parasite now, and it's coming. I'll just phagocyte it. That's what they will do. And once they phagocyte it, they will absorb that organism, that parasite, into liquid. You understand? And you form a blue vacuum where it is just the energy derived from that phagocytosis will be kept. Now, let's now move to the next one, which is your what? Your platelet. Which is your platelet. Also known as what? Thrombocytes. Thrombocytes. Platelets, also known as thrombocytes. Now, basically, these ones are minute, irregular shaped bodies. They are minute, irregular shaped bodies. They are minute. They are minute, irregular shaped bodies. Also, bodies which are crystalline in nature. They are crystalline. I will explain to you now. You have seen it already. It's in your body. Which are crystalline in nature. I'm sure every single person in this universe has injured one or twice. You have injured before where you cut yourself mistakenly. The moment that place bleeds, you find out that what after a few period of time, you see it will close and you form more crystalline stuff that you can peel, and to peel it used to be sweeting some people. You like to peel that kind of thing. You understand? So that thing that you're seeing that you're peeling is your what? Is your platelet. Now, when you injure, the number of platelets in your bloodstream will increase so as to go and aid in what? Blood clotting. Now, that blood clotting is so as to prevent exposure of infection into the injury and also to what? To reduce the rate of blood loss. Are you getting me now? And they are also non-nucleated, like your red blood cells. They are also non-nucleated. They are also non-nucleated. They are non-nucleated and aid in blood. What I say, they aid in blood clotting. Say they aid in blood clotting. Now, automatically, from what I've said now, you can easily mention some of the functions of what? Of blood. Because they can ask you to mention the functions of blood. From the general things now, when we talk about white blood cell, red blood cell, we can easily mention the functions of blood, right? So what are the functions of blood? My battery is already getting low. Now, blood aids in the transportation of materials. Blood aids in the transportation of materials. Blood aids in the transportation of materials. Functions of blood. Number one, transport of materials, which we said oxygen. Materials. Number two, regulation of body temperature, which we mentioned before. Regulation of body temperature. Number three, we also have they also aid in defense. You know that's the white blood cell. Defense, give body defense. They defend the body from infection. They defend the body from infection. They also aid in what? In regulating water, acidity, alkalinity. Regulate acidity, alkalinity, salinity, that's salt, and water in the body. Are you seeing that now? So they also aid in regulating body temperature, which I've said already. So those are the major importance of blood. Those are the major importance of blood. Those are the major importance of blood. Can I wipe off now? Please take a screenshot quickly so I can move on. Take a screenshot so that we can move on. I have to finish up this topic. My battery is already low. Oh, no want that. Okay. Quickly. Full energy. My light was on. I have charger. Please. You know, my that cord is small, but I left my major long cord. And yeah, so I'm gonna get it. Have you taken the screenshot, please? Can I wipe off now? Can I wipe off now? Please just take a screenshot so I can move on. Quickly, please take a screenshot so that I can move on. Take a screenshot so I can move on. Are you done? Okay, I can go on. Thank you. Now, we are moving to the next aspect. Want to go to the types of circulations we have. We have two types of circulation: open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. That is two types of circulatory system we have. They can actually, these are important aspects. Very important. Very key. Very key. And very simple. Don't be scared. Very simple. You understand it. Now, we have two types of circulatory system. What I say? Two types. What are they? Open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. Open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. I'll be starting from the open circulatory system. So what's so special about this open circulatory system? Now let me just explain. Now, in the open circulatory system, look at something. In the open circulatory system, do you understand now? So in the open circulatory system, this is what happens. You know, blood, like in the normal human system, you know how blood goes. Like blood flows from your heart to a channel. It does not just pour into your body and it's just moving like you are just a bag of blood. No, like there's a channel that directs the blood, and those are your vessels. You understand? Blood moves from your heart into specific channels called blood vessels, such as your veins and arteries. You understand? They go into these vessels, and it's through these vessels that they are transported around the body, then come back again. But in the open circulatory system, no, the blood does not go into a channel. It just pumps from the heart, pour into the body like you are just a bag of blood, and the whole of your body will just be blood. You get? Then the whole blood will now go back into the heart again. And this occurs in organisms that we call arthropods. Your arthropods, I will still talk about classification later on. Your arthropods are the one that used to take part in this aspect of in this type of circulatory system. You know, that I call open circulatory system. Instead, they don't have any specific channel for the transportation of this blood. So the blood just moves from a dorsally placed heart. Look at something now. I'll draw a diagram now. Look at this is. Let's imagine this is a grasshopper now. Let's imagine this is a grasshopper. Of course, you know you have the leg, everything, but I just want to focus more on his head, on his this thing. Let's imagine this is a grasshopper. I get me just I just remove the other feathers and stuff like that. This is a grasshopper, an insect, anyone. You get with his leg, that's leg somewhere it is. You get it. Now, in open circulatory system, the organism is going to have what we call a dorsally placed heart. You understand? That when we say dorsally, that means the heart runs like this at the top of the body. And this time around, for this insect I'm drawing now, it runs from the abdomen. This is the abdomen. I guess it runs from the abdomen to the head. The heart runs from the abdomen to the head. So this is the heart I just drew there. I get it now, and that it has holes. I'll tell you what those holes are very soon. It's not spiracles. Some people think it's spiracles. It's not spiracles. Now, blood will flow in this heart. I said this is the heart. This long thing here is the dorsally placed heart. Dorsal heart. That's your dorsal heart. So in this dorsal heart, blood will flow. I get it now, and it flows to the head region. And from that head region, what happens? It will pour out. The blood will flow out into the abdomen. I mean, did it enter inside any channel? No, it just comes out from that heart and runs to the head region, then pour out into the body cavity. You understand? There's no specific channel. It just comes out and pour out into the body cavity. And the name of their body cavity, the name of this body cavity now is called hemocule. It's called hemocule. I get it now. So people call it hemocule. Understand? It's called hemocule. Now, because we know that blood has to go back to the heart to get pumped, right? Now, what channel? It cannot go back to this place because here is closed. It will not pass through this spaces here, these holes I put here. I get it now. The blood will pass through from the homocule back into the heart through these holes. And what are the name of these holes? These are called your ostia. And I believe that should ring a bell. Because even in your peripheral, you have ostia. When we are doing our classification, don't worry, I'll take you classification sometime and we see the ostia. So it has small perforations called ostia. Now, get the scenario here. Blood flows from the ventrally placed heart out of the body into the body cavity. I see it now, which is called the homocule. And through that homocule, it will now go back to the heart through what? The ostia. That is very simple. So it's just from the dorsally placed heart. From the dorsally placed heart, the blood runs from the abdomen to the head region, falls and empty out into the what? Into the body cavity. Then when it gets to the body cavity, the blood will now, like when the body falls into the body cavity, also known as the homocule, I get it now. The blood will return back into the heart through the what? Through the ostia. It's very simple. So let's write. An open circulatory system. An open circulatory system is one in which blood flows, from the heart of the organism, and empties into the body cavity, called the what? Called the homocule. I see now. The blood then returns into the heart. Through the what? Through the ostia. I see that now. The blood returns back into the heart of that organism through the what? Through the ostia. How many percent is this thing? Okay. Do you have any question there? Okay, no questions. So that's the sequence. An open circulatory system is one in which blood flows from the what? From the heart, that is this dorsally placed heart here, and empties into the body cavity called the what? Homocule. Are you getting me now? Called the homocule. Then what will now happen when the blood gets emptied into the body cavity called the homocule? The blood now returns back into the heart via this what? Ostia. I see now it will return back to the heart through the what? Through the ostia. And that's just the sequence. So meaning that in open circulatory system, there is no conducting channel for the blood. Thus, in open circulatory system, there is no specialized conducting system for the what? For the blood. And that's why the blood just pours into the body of the organism. I get me now. Pours into the body of the organism. And then what will now happen when it pours into the body of the organism? The body will just absorb the nutrients it needs, and when it has finished absorbing the nutrients it needs, the blood returns back to the heart, and that's what's going to happen via the what? Through the ostia. You get what I'm saying now? So that's that for your open circulatory system. And so I said it occurs in your arthropod majorly. You get? It occurs in your arthropod majorly. And when you say arthropod, you get? When you say arthropod, we are talking about your cockroach and stuff like that. And in this system, blood movement is slow. Are you getting me now? It's slow. And its function is to transport food from gut to body cells. Please, you have to take note of that. In this system, the transport is what? Is slow. It's not fast. It's not fast. Are you getting me now? And in this system, in this system also, I get it now, that we said it's slow, you get now, the color of the blood in anthropods, I get it now, majorly most of them, is not red, and that's because they lack hemoglobin. You understand now? That's because they lack hemoglobin. So you can just say that, therefore, since blood is found in the body cavity, I get it now, which is the homocyl, you understand? Which is the homocyl. We call it very well, writing like this, sorry. I think this spelling is not correct for homocyl. This is homocyl, no, like hemoglobin, homocyl, like this. Get homocyl. Let's correct the spelling. Homocyl. We get. So when blood flows through this homocyl, are you getting me now? Since there is no hemoglobin in the homocyl, that makes us have a what? A non-reddish blood. The blood will be what? Will be colorless. Will be colorless. So that's what happens there. So are we done with this one? Can I wipe up this? Can I go on, please, so that we can go to the second type of circulatory system that we have, which is the closed circulatory system. Can I move on? Can I move on? Are we good to go? I think I can go on. It's just for you to screenshot. Just for me to screenshot. All right. I already said that I'll send you guys the lecture notes. Don't worry. Okay. So for the closed circulatory system now, which is the one that occurs in higher animals, the other one occurs in insects. For the closed circulatory system, this is a system in which you have conducting channels for the blood. In a closed circulatory system, you have conducting channels for the blood. There is a specialized conducting channel for blood, and that's what we call the blood vessels. That's what we call the blood vessels. Are you with me now? That's what we call the blood vessels. Now, in the closed circulatory system, we have three types of closed circulatory system, and those are our what? Our single circulatory system. Are you getting me? Which will be having two, that is one auricle and one ventricle. Then we also have our double circulatory system, which will be having, we have the double partial and we have the double completely divided inside ventricle. You get. So what am I trying to say now? In essence, I'm saying that in closed circulatory system we have single circulatory system. We have the double circulatory system with partially divided ventricle, partially divided ventricle. I will explain what I mean by this. Then we also have those that we say are the, we also have the double circulatory also again. We also have the double circulatory system. I get it with completely divided the completely divided ventricle. Okay. Now look at it. Of course, you find it in fish. Sorry, hold on.
Hello?
I'm in this thing already now. But I'm taking class now. I'm taking online class. You just disconnected it now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. We're back again. We're back. So I said that this single circulatory system you find the occur in fishes. Again, they have one auricle and one ventricle. That's how their own is. This is the auricle here. Or let's just call it, let's say this is the auricle. This is the heart of a fish. Auricle, ventricle. So the fish has one auricle and what? And one ventricle. I get it now. And that's single circulatory system. How do we call it single circulatory system? Because the blood will flow. Now let me tell you something. Blood flows from the auricle to the ventricle, then into the body. Are you getting me now? Auricle to the ventricle, into the body. Then if it's going to come back to the heart again, it will come back through the auricle. So meaning that blood from this auricle will flow down. Are you getting now? Will flow down, pass through a valve, which is called atrioventricular valve. We'll explore that later. Are you getting now? Then it will flow from this auricle into the ventricle. Then that blood from the ventricle will now flow out of the heart. Are you seeing that that's a single circulatory system? Now, a single circulatory system, if you have to define it, what are you going to write? You say, this is one in which, in a complete circulation, blood passes through the heart once. Blood passes through the heart once. E.g., fish. Now, it means that in your exam, they can tell you, explain circulation in fish. It means what they want to talk about is what? The single circulatory system. Because this is what happens in fish. The blood passes through the heart just once in a single circulation. That's single circulatory system. And I showed you it has one auricle and one ventricle. The blood moves from the auricle into the ventricle, fills the ventricular layer, and passes through this vein here, which we'll be exploring later in later lectures, that passes out and goes back into the body, and from the body, the blood goes into the what? Auricle again. And that's how the system continues. So in one full circulation, blood passes through the heart once. Let's now explore further. Now, in our double circulation, we have two types of double circulation. In some textbook, they just said there are two types of circulation, single and double. But here I explored it further so that we can see the complete tenacity and appreciate the intricity of this lecture, and then we'll be able to appreciate the content. So now we are talking about the double circulatory system. Now for the double circulatory system, we have two types. As you can see here, we have the double circulatory system with the partially divided ventricle that you will find in most of your reptiles, and you also have the double circulatory system, completely divided ventricles that you'll be finding in your what? Your mammals, like humans. So this one you find it in reptiles and amphibians, but this one you find it in your reptiles, in your mammals rather. So in this one now, you have two auricles. So you have one like this, and you have another one like this. That's separated. We explore that separation later on in later lectures. They now have one ventricle that has been partially divided. So you look at this here, this division is entered into the ventricle. So this is the auricle, this is the right auricle. Imagine we are standing like this. So this is the right auricle, the left auricle, then this is the ventricle which has been partially divided by this septum in this region. You understand? So this is exactly what that of affiliation is. So in this kind of circulation now, the blood will move from the right auricle now into the what? Into the ventricle. It empties from this ventricle down into the body, and from this ventricle it will now come back again and enter into the what? Into the atrium. And there is a reason for that double circulation. As you can see, blood passes twice in one concentration. It passes like this first. It passes like this from here. The blood enters from here. You get? Let's say from the body, the blood goes, enters into this place, and from this place here, it goes down to this region. I get me now. So our first sequence was that the blood came from here, goes down and enters into here. I get me now. Now that blood that went out, we now come back through this other region here and fill this place, entering into this place here, and also passes through this place to go out. So if you look at the sequence here, we are having a double circulation. We are having a double circulation. Let me recapitulate. Let me recapitulate and re-expatiate on the content. Sorry, okay, you're asking if we can take a break. Sorry, let's just finish up this aspect. We will go on a break right now. Let's just finish this aspect. We go on a break. Because I talk about this. We go on a break. Okay. So we have been able to explore this one now. We said this is one in which in a complete circulation, blood passes through the heart twice. Through the heart twice. Now for the last one, before we go on that break you have been disturbing me for. You get now? She said it twice. Can we take a break? Can we take a break? Don't worry, 3 times. You can take a break. Let me just do this. Now for this one now, we have an auricle, another auricle. Are you getting me now? Just like this, just that this time around it will be completely divided. So we have one auricle here, we have another auricle here, we have another auricle here. So each of them now form a separate ventricle. Each of them now form separate ventricle. One empties into his own here. One empties into his own here. They now form their own ventricle. One goes forms his own ventricle. So this is exactly what the double circulation heart looks like. You have your right auricle, your left auricle, your right ventricle, your left ventricle. And this is what you find in mammals. The circulation now, the blood comes from here and goes into this place, into the body, come back, you understand? Then blood also goes this way too. I'll be exploring the details properly later on. What actually happens is this. Blood from this side flows into this, then empties into this place. Are you getting me now? And from the ventricle, they now get emptied into a particular channel we'll be talking about when we're talking about mammals circulation, circulatory system in mammals. That's the next thing we're going to talk about after this. But since you want the commercial break, there's no problem. So the definition is the same. But this one occurs in e.g. amphibians, in some amphibians and reptiles, Why this one occurs in mammals? Mammals. Understand now? So I think that's why we're going to stop the lecture for now. Understand? So I can go on your break. You get? So I think we have been able to explore a lot during this short period of time. So when you are ready, or when I'm ready to come back, you just inform me. Then maybe if probably at tomorrow, or next tomorrow, anytime you're ready, based on necessary parameters being put in place as pertaining to the financial capacity. You understand? So that will enable the continuation of this lecture. All right then, I'll be logging out now.